Da, da. Morning, guys. Got me tea. Gonna make a coffee in a minute. So I'm not awake yet. Still half asleep. Half asleep. I'm gonna remake the Graceland video because it was just. I don't know if you guys watched it last night. It was just a mess. It was a mess. The kids, the dogs, loads of distractions. There we had technical issues, and I watched it back this morning, and I just thought I'm not happy with it. So I'm going to redo it. So the thing with Graceland is the point of this video is that we're trying to show that Priscilla Presley is not the reason it wasn't sold, and it's not the reason it was launched as a living museum. I'm trying to show that. So the problem I've got is, guys, is that well, not a problem. This is what's happening. Morning, Sherry. So, anyway, I better introduce myself. I'm not awake yet. I need to wake up. Wake up. Wake up. The problem we've got is I've always had messages from the Elvis fans telling me that Priscilla is not the reason Graceland was saved, but she takes all the credit for it. I've also always had messages saying that it wasn't her idea to do the living museum. And we're talking thousands of messages over and over again. This eventually made me think, there must be some truth to this. So I have sort of been educated by the Elvis fans, the subscribers, the members, and on my other videos and shorts, that something doesn't ring true about the fact that Priscilla has spent 40 years saying and taking credit for the opening of Graceland. Now, don't forget, Priscilla says in many interviews, even in front of Lisa Marie Presley, that if she hadn't have saved Graceland and opened it as a museum, that Elvis was going to be forgotten within 5 years. Now, we know that's just ridiculous. We all know if Graceland had ever been sold, it would have made no difference. The fans would have still loved him because the love was there. The connection with the fans was there. It was strong. It became part of the fabric of the world. So whether or not Graceland was there, in my opinion, Priscilla saying that Graceland would be forgotten is ridiculous. Seriously, guys, it's a good thing, of course. It definitely didn't do any harm, and us fans are so pleased that Graceland was saved and not sold off. And the living museum idea was a great idea, and we've seen the massive expansion, which I think we do have to give a bit of that credit to Elvis Presley Enterprises, even though you guys know that I am completely against Elvis Presley Enterprises, that it should ever have been sold off in the way that it was. There's no way that should have happened, in my opinion. And I think this is one of Priscilla's biggest mistakes, and that is she takes over the helm of Graceland, and we'll talk about that in a second. And then at some point, the idea comes up to sell off 85% of it. I think we've done quite a few videos on this. Hi, Lorna. And at some point, Priscilla makes a decision with other people that 85% will be sold off, but they retain ownership of Graceland. I think this was a massive mistake. I've also been told that Graceland, even though it is owned by Riley Keough, is controlled by Elvis Presley Enterprises, 85% of it. That doesn't sit right with me. Whatever financial problems were had way back then, I'm not exactly sure the first time it was sold. I think it's been sold twice. You tell me, guys. Was it 2005? My point is, come on. Graceland should be owned by the Presleys. It should be, I'm on about including Elvis Presley Enterprises. We know that Graceland is owned by the Presleys, the bloodline. But Elvis Presley Enterprises, no way. That should belong to Riley Keough. So I know that there's a bigger picture, the expansion. They wanted to bring in bigger companies to help invest into, the museum and the land around it. But I still think it should have stayed within the Presley line. I really believe that. So I've been very fortunate. I've had one of my sources give me some information that can prove that Graceland's becoming a living museum was not Priscilla Presley's idea, even though she takes total credit for it. I know I did this last night, guys, but I want to go through it again because I wasn't happy with last night. I had too many distractions, too much going on. So I'm going to do what I did last night when I wake up. I'm still half asleep. And I'm going to play a couple of videos. Then I'm going to read it off. Let's have a look. See if I can find. There was one video that I played last night. I thought it was excellent. It was just a 1-minute video. I wonder if I can find it. I haven't prepared for this, guys. I just woke up. Right, let's have a look. Right, I'm hoping that my kids aren't going to come down and completely mess up. They probably will. Right, let's have a look. I actually found some pretty good videos last night. I'm just trying to show. Let's see if we can find it. I think I've got it. Let's have a look. It's just a 1-minute video. So how many of you actually believe that it was because of Priscilla that Graceland was saved? How many of you actually believe that? Because I used to think, yeah, Priscilla saved it from being sold, and if it wasn't for her, there would be no museum. I used to believe that. How many of you? Morning, everyone. I'm just trying to wake up, guys. Let's have a look. I was just seeing it, hoping I could find this little 1-minute video that I thought really summed things up well. Yeah, I found it.
Will you go back with me to 1982 when we opened Graceland? Wow. Will you go back with me to 1982 when we opened Graceland?
Wow, 1982. Wow, those were the days. It was, frightening. Jack Soden was with me, and I searched him out, and he became our CEO. Against all odds, with my cohorts, they wanted me an approval for all of us to just sell Graceland. That was not going to happen. That happened, so decided to open it up as a museum, but not really a museum, but just his home so that people come
and tour.
Home tour, exactly. Jack said it best. The most frightening we were was because we sent out. It's not like we sent out invitations and we were going to get RSVPs on who was coming. And we had no idea if anyone was going to come or not. So we were a nervous wreck. All the press showed up. People started showing up. We opened the gates of Graceland, and the rest is history.
So
we're here in this trophy.
So what I'm trying to show here is that, because I'm sure Priscilla had some involvement. She was the trustee on behalf of Lisa Marie, and there's other factors, in my opinion, why she became the trustee, to do with the charge and the lien that was placed on Graceland, the building, after the second divorce settlement that Elvis could not afford. So the attorneys came up with the idea that this lien, this charge, would be placed on Graceland, Elvis's home, to guarantee that Priscilla gets her payment in installments of the second divorce settlement. Now, I've got strong views about the second divorce settlement, because in my opinion, it should never have happened, because everything was done and dusted in the first divorce settlement. So my attitude was very much, everything had been agreed. Elvis was very generous. So when she went back, she had to basically accuse Elvis of fraud in the first divorce to get the judge to allow her to apply for the second divorce. Yeah. Well, that infuriates me. You know, she had to say that he hid things from her, that he didn't tell her everything, which I just don't like it, because I think Elvis was very, very generous to Priscilla. Bearing in mind the circumstances, they had a divorce because of her unfaithfulness. She was unfaithful with the dance instructor. She was unfaithful with Mike Stone, the karate champion. She secretly had an affair with Mike Stone for a year before it all came out, before Elvis found out. And she wanted a divorce. She made it very clear, I'm having a divorce. And this is proved by Mike Stone's interview on YouTube. He clearly says that she had made up her mind she was having a divorce and that she sought him out. She started the affair. Don't forget, this affair that was started broke two families up. It broke Elvis's family up with Lisa Marie and Priscilla, and it broke Mike Stone's family up with his wife, who was pregnant. So this charge that eventually was placed on Graceland, which was caused by the second divorce settlement, because Priscilla was demanding a massive amount of money that Elvis could not afford. I think once this charge was placed on Graceland, put Priscilla in a very powerful position to make big decisions. So anything that was being decided, it was always taken into account that Priscilla had a charge on the building, a lien on the building, caused by this deed of trust that the attorneys created. And I personally think this put her in a very, very strong position, where when decisions were being made, they had to take Priscilla into account. But not just that, even when Vernon, before he passed, God rest his soul, even for him, he was between a rock and a hard place, because he knew when he was very unwell that this deed of trust, this lien placed, this debt placed on Graceland, was a massive thing that he had to take into consideration at the time of assigning her as the main trustee on behalf of Lisa Marie. And who knows what went on behind the scenes? All we know is that at some point, Priscilla is at the top. She is the top boss, top dog, and everything had to go through her. Everything. So she has maneuvered herself, I think, with some luck and circumstances. Obviously, Vernon passing, being the mother of Lisa Marie, into a position where she was going to be the front person. And I only found out this yesterday. I never knew that she was not at the opening of Graceland, the museum. She wasn't there. I never knew that. I'm going to show you that now. Yes, she was on the podium and all the press was there, which I think must have happened on a different day to announce that Graceland would become a living museum. But she wasn't actually there in the opening. And I think that says a lot. So let's just play this other video. We've got a few videos to play. I think it gives you a bit of a rounded picture on as they were making decisions. Let's have a look. I don't think really we can talk about Graceland without...
Some might call them the faithful, others might call them fanatics.
Talking about Priscilla, because she's so pivotal in how all these decisions were made and leading up to it. Now, remember, I found proof that it was Vernon Presley's idea to do Graceland as a living museum, but also Colonel Tom Parker, he was pushing for it, and the Memphis City as well. So there was quite a few factors that were happening before Priscilla was involved in this decision. And then we have Jack Sodden, who, from what I can see, was Morgan Maxfield's assistant Morgan Maxfield is the guy that Priscilla was engaged to around 1980. I don't know the exact time. And even Morgan Maxfield, there was something there. He was involved in this process. He was some kind of property investor. So that behind the scenes, there was stuff going on to create the Living Museum for a while. And even we have Todd Slaughter. Even he was like the president of the UK fan club. And he used to take tours around Graceland. So Graceland sometimes was actually being used as a sort of museum. And then the other thing that went on was the Memphis Council knew, Memphis City knew from the amount of people visiting the graves, Elvis's grave, that it was going to be a success. It was going to be a success because it was just, the graveside was just too popular. They were getting thousands and thousands of visitors just for the graveside. So it was pretty obvious that if they started charging these people, it was going to be a big hit. So it was almost like a sure thing. Morning, Gio. Right, let's play some videos.
For certain fans of Elvis Presley, and today thousands of those fans were drawn to Memphis as the Presley home, Graceland Mansion, opened its doors to the public for the first time ever. Charles Murphy reports.
Elvis's Aunt Delta cut the ribbon. Priscilla, the ex-wife, had another engagement. But the fans came, still faithful.
Because I love Elvis.
They paid $5 for the tour, and vans full of fans went back and forth all day. What Priscilla opened up here today is a gold mine. She could have had a big garage sale like Bing Crosby's widow did recently, but the fans still would have come here, so why not cash in? At 3,000 persons a day, that's $500,000 a month. There's a lot of Presleyiana here. Elvis didn't throw anything away. He even kept his old army uniform and all his guns and badges and the praise he got for the war against drugs. But fans won't get to see where he died, and they don't like to talk about the narcotics.
I'd rather not comment on that because I don't believe any of that.
They want an idealized Elvis, as he was idealized in this Las Vegas painting and in his music.
Love me tender.
Only 4 of the mansion's many rooms are open to the public. There's his TV room, where he often stayed up late at night, watching television and listening to music. And the billiard room where he and his pals played pool, and that's about it. After 20 minutes of seeing this, they come out all shook up.
Just walking on the same floors, touching the same walls that Elvis lived in, breathed in, felt in, just lived in.
At his grave, tears. This was not an ordinary museum tour. It was an emotional journey for some. Charles Murphy, ABC News, Memphis.
You know, I love these old archive news clips, but the biggest surprise from that was that Priscilla was not at the opening. Right, so we're going to play a few more bits. Let's just, I'm going to read out the document in a minute, but I just wanted to just watch a few interesting bits and get a feel for that time. Let's see if I can find. Let's have a look. Right. Wash them. They don't. Hey guys, let's have a look. Let me just get this right. Let's get the right one, guys. There's some brilliant footage of Priscilla opening Graceland. There's a couple of little clips here that I did, a few shorts. I'll show you them.
First of all, I'd like to welcome you all here today. And I'm happy to announce, as you know, that Graceland will be open to the public as a memorial museum to Elvis Presley.
It's been my home for a long time, and it had to go beyond that, and I guess reality and economics is a major point. So it has to go beyond emotions.
Is the upkeep on Graceland terribly draining on the estate?
Very much so. Absolutely. This has been a major point. And this has been, of course, the major decision of why we are opening it.
Did you talk in jest about someday Graceland opening to the public? Yes, absolutely. Elvis was very proud of his home. And anytime guests would come in, he was more than willing to show them throughout the house. And I think he'd be very pleased to know that it was shown in this way.
So, you know, there's a lot of footage. I made these videos probably a year ago, maybe longer. Hi Elvis fans, and Priscilla Presley here is being interviewed in Australia, and she talks about the decision to open Graceland to the public in 1982 and how they were very unsure if it would be a success and were really worried just to know if anyone would actually turn up to see Graceland, as it was when Elvis Presley and his family lived there. And it was a sort of museum, but a living museum. So they wanted it kept as it was before he passed away. And when the crowds all turned up and they were queuing round the corner to see it, everybody was relieved, especially Priscilla Presley. Thanks everyone, I hope you enjoyed this short video. So, obviously I've had my views change since I made this video, because I really did believe that Priscilla was the reason Graceland was saved and that it was launched as a living museum. I really believed it. It was completely her idea. She was a very savvy businesswoman, and she is part of the reason that Elvis's legacy had been saved. But I've learned so much since I made that video. I've learned so much that actually things were already in place well before Priscilla, with Vernon, with Colonel John Parker, and with other things that were happening behind the scenes. So I'm trying to show here, guys, that the idea for the museum was quite advanced. The city of Memphis were already in dealings and getting ready to create the living museum before Priscilla came along. Let's just play a couple more.
First of all, I'd like to welcome you all here today. And I'm happy to announce, as you know, that Graceland will be open to the public as a memorial museum to Elvis Presley.
I will say this, that opening Graceland as a living museum obviously has been a massive success. And it was a very public opening. There's many videos on YouTube showing Priscilla Presley launching Graceland. So let's carry on listening to Priscilla.
And it's been an adventure, I have to say. Who would have known that that he's as popular, if not more, today than he was years ago.
It's so true that I don't think anyone could have predicted just how popular Elvis Presley would remain decades later. So, again, my views have changed because, given the information that I've had, it was quite a sure thing. Memphis, the city of Memphis knew, and Colonel and Vernon, they knew it was going to be a big hit because of the amount of people visiting the graves. It was just obvious. So I do think there's a picture just constantly painted of.
First of all, I'd like to.
That it's Priscilla. It's her idea. She's the reason it was saved, and I think many of us completely believe that. Do you guys? You tell me. Did you completely fall for the fact that it was all about Priscilla? It was all her doing. How many of you watching now felt this? I was one. Guys. I'm going to make a coffee, so I'm going to put this on play. I'm going to play you guys a video and make my coffee. Then after that, I'm going to read the document. Right, let's have a... Morning has broken. I'm having a great morning. I'm still half asleep, guys. I'm not awake yet. The whole house is asleep. Let's have a look. But I'm determined to make this video without the kids coming down, because last night was last night's video was just I thought was ruined. There was too many distractions. Now, if the kids come down now, I'll end it and I'll do a part 2. So this could be part 1. Let's just see. Let's see what time they come down. Okay. And even the dogs were being very annoying last night. I don't know how many of you watched it, but the dogs were driving me potty. Right, let's just put this on here. Right, let me just get that in the right position. Up a bit. Hi, Teresa. I'm redoing the Graceland video because I wasn't happy with last night, so this is another attempt.
Well, first of all, I'd like to welcome you all here today. And I'm happy to announce, as you know, that Graceland will be open to the public as a memorial museum to Elvis Presley. Is Colonel Parker invited to this? Gee, did we send him a telegram? That's right. He's not in the media. At least not in the public. It's been my home for a long time. And it had to go beyond that. And I guess reality and economics is a major point. So it has to go beyond emotions.
Is the upkeep on Graceland terribly draining on the estate?
Very much so. Absolutely. This has been a major point. And this has been, of course, the major decision of why we are opening it. Did you talk in jest about someday Graceland opening to the public? Yes, absolutely. Elvis was very proud of his home. And anytime guests would come in, he was more than willing to show them throughout the house. And I think he'd be very pleased to know that it was shown in this way. I'm very happy. I always feel you're going to get some criticism no matter what you do. I found in life that, you're not always going to be, or people are not always going to think you're doing the right thing. And if there's to be a Graceland... Oh, this is the way we have to do it. Thank God that we're doing it privately. We it didn't really work out with the state and with the city, but we have control, and we're doing it, I believe, in the way that Elvis would love and appreciate, and we're maintaining it and preserving it for him. So, what can I say? I think Lisa, at the time that she's of age, would be very happy that it's done this way.
Do you think she ever wants to live here?
I don't know, but if she does, it's hers, and it'll all be preserved for her. I don't think it could be if it was done any other way. If you'll notice, there is no kind of construction going up on the grounds that's permanent. If ever she decided at the age of 25 that she wanted to maintain it as her personal home.
Okay, I think we got a copy. Right, 1 second. Right. 1 second, guys. Let me just take this. Hello. You hear me, mate? Right. Yeah. Go ahead. How are you doing? Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, let me get the card. 1 second. Right, go ahead. Right, just 1 second, guys. Go ahead. It is. Okay, we're back. Got me coffee.
She is very proud.
Let's give this right. Oh, typical. Someone phones me while I'm doing it, but actually we did catch most of that, didn't we? So, right, I'm gonna read this document. So it's a bit of a read, guys. Is it gonna be okay? Oh, you can't beat a coffee in the morning. Who we got? We've got Teresa, Lorna, Gio, Sherry. Most of you guys are asleep in America, aren't you? You're all fast asleep. So this document was sent to me by a friend, and I think it's a very important document. So it basically shows that Memphis was getting ready to create this living museum, which I think, the way I see it, it just clearly proves that the idea to create Gracelands was not Priscilla's. That simple. Because I didn't think it's right. I personally don't think it's right that Priscilla takes all the credit for the museum. I think it's unfair. I think Vernon deserves credit, and you're going to laugh at this. Colonel Tom Parker, partly, and Memphis and the city of Memphis. So let's just read the document. Right. It's actually not that long. It's long-ish. Right. Are we ready? Are we ready for this, guys? Got me coffee, so I'm happy. I need to wake up. I'm not awake yet, guys. Okay. Morning, Tracy. Right. In case you're just catching up, I'm redoing the Graceland video because I wasn't happy with last night's video. The Office of Planning and Development in 1979 published the Graceland Area Study, which outlined a number of recommendations for use of Elvis Presley's estate and surrounding areas. Primary considerations in the study were preservation of the mansion and the grounds as a tourist attraction, the need to provide adequate parking facilities for tourists. The planned development, see, this is key here, the planned development in accordance with these purposes. So it was planned. The development purposes to maintain the existing character of Graceland, Site A, between Elvis Presley Boulevard and the mansion, and to construct limited facilities behind the mansion. Also proposed are 104 automobiles and 20 recreational vehicles parking spaces. Site B, located across Elvis Presley Boulevard for visitors parking. Site B is also proposed to contain sanitary facilities, concessions and information and ticket facilities. As far as I can see, this was being discussed in 1978. Hi, Jean. How are you going, Jean? You okay? Right. Let's keep going. There are many factors to consider in the review of the development proposal. Now, remember, development proposal. This is before Priscilla. A primary concern is the adequacy of parking facilities, although no specific statistics are available for the number of visitors to Graceland, and Graceland study estimated that approximately 300,000 to 500,000 people visited the gravesite during 1978. In subsequent years, the number of visitors has declined, but no figures are available. Okay, so maybe this was done 79, because that bit doesn't add up. Yeah, so this could have been done in 79, I think. Don't forget, I didn't open in 82. So you can see what they're doing. They're looking at the amount of visitors that are visiting the graves. And I think from that, they're deducing that it would be a massive success. You know, if that amount of people are visiting the graves at Graceland, then it's quite a high chance it will be a massive success. Team Elvis, yeah, we love Team Elvis. Hi, Leanne. So with the opening of the mansion and other sites for viewing by the public, it can be assumed that the present average number of visitors per day to Graceland will increase initially and then decline to a stabler number. The peak tourist period is the months of May, June, July, and August. The number of visitors during the peak period is difficult to estimate, not only because of the lack of historical data, but also because of the lack of knowledge of whether opening of the mansion as the museum will create a significant tourist attraction. So that, you know, they're discussing it. They're basically saying, you know, this is what we've got in mind. This is why we think it will work. Then they move on now to the parking spaces and the impact that it's going to have, all the visitors. They discuss the busy times. Of course, the parking is going to be an issue. If it's a popular tourist attraction, the parking was a big thing to worry about, because obviously there's a lot of other people living in that area. Right, let's have a look. Okay, I think we've got 2 more bits left. Let's have a look. However, given 124 parking spaces and assuming an average length of stay of 1.5 hours per visit, 8 hours of operation per day, approximately 3 people per automobile, approximately 2,000 people per day can be accommodated by the proposal number of parking spaces. In the peak tourist season for 4 months, approximately 240,000 visitors can be accommodated. Not included are those visitors who would use other forms of transportation, such as Matat buses, tour buses, van pools, etc. In an additional 96,000 visitors is anticipated for the other 8 months of the year. Another important factor in the movement of tourists is the movement of tourists through Graceland is the internal operations, implementation of the reservation system, particularly during peak periods, could substantially alleviate the need for additional parking and avoid long lines for entering the grounds. So this is the last bit, guys. The Graceland study recommended the construction of 400 parking spaces. However, the study contemplated the use of the parking area as a tourist park and ride location, and the number of visitors has declined since the study was undertaken. The number of parking spaces proposed seemed adequate to accommodate the estimated number of visitors per day to Graceland. However, it is imperative that adequate parking facilities are provided to avoid tourist parking on the residential streets, particularly Dolan Drive, located south of Graceland. It is recommended that a year after the mansion is open to the public, the Land Use Control Board review the parking impact of the planned development and may require that additional parking is provided if needed. In addition, the board shall review the effect of the proposed parking fee to determine whether it has resulted in tourist parking on other property or on public streets. That's that, guys. Try and read that at 8:14 a.m. in the UK. So, right, let me just put some more hot water in this coffee and we'll chat about it. You've got to keep going on the coffee, guys. You must have the coffee. Importante. So really, we come to the end now, guys. I expect the kids are going to be down in a minute, so I'm not going to push my luck. So I'll just keep going until one of the kids jump on me, which they probably will. But generally, that is proof that there was not. I can hear noise of voices. Hi, young man. They're awake. To me, your phone's next to where I sleep. You know where I sleep? Morning, young man. You know where Daddy sleeps? Your phone is there. Yeah, man. He hasn't jumped on me yet. But to me, doesn't that make it very obvious that Memphis, the city of Memphis and Vernon, it was all being planned. They were getting ready. I'm not great at these kind of documents, but it's pretty obvious. It was being planned. They were doing a living museum. They were trying to work out the parking, and these actual documents from Memphis. So can you guys now see that it was not Priscilla's idea to open Graceland as a living museum? Could you accept that from what I've just read to you? I've had other things sent to me as well. So it just, I don't think it's fair to Graceland, the building, Elvis's home, that all the credit, all the work that went on behind the scenes, the idea of the museum, I don't think it's fair that all the credit goes to Priscilla. And I'm not trying to be hateful to Priscilla. This is not a Priscilla hate channel. But I do think this. The people that were involved in planning the opening of Graceland as a museum, they should get credit. If it was the city of Memphis, if it was Vernon, if it was Colonel Tom Pike, whoever it was. But how it comes across to me is that Priscilla at some point is heavily involved when she becomes the trustee of Graceland, appointed by Vernon just before he passed away. And I think that everything was in place, and I think she just ran with it. She got on the bandwagon and pushed the idea through, and then has spent 40 years saying it was all because of me. I saved Graceland. I've saved Elvis' legacy. And then in interviews, which I said earlier, she's there in interviews saying to her daughter, Lisa Marie, they're sat together in interviews, and she's saying, I saved it, proudly. I saved it. And if I hadn't saved it, your father would have been forgotten within 5 years. I think that's wrong, guys. I wonder if I can find that interview. I'm going to see if I can find it. If it was because of her, I'd bite the bullet and I'd say it was because of Priscilla, but I just don't think it was. I think she got the glory. I think she took all the glory, which is why she's on the podium announcing it. Hi, Kathy. Kathy, we're just doing a bit of a remake of last night because last night there was too many distractions. I just wasn't happy with it. Let's see what else comes up, guys. Have we seen this one?
First of all, I'd like to.
Let's see what we can find.
Trophy room. Inspiring a.
I just want to show you some more Priscilla clips. Let's see if we can find one that we haven't seen before. Right, here we go.
And I said, I'd like to, give me some time. I'm thinking of opening it up, opening it as a museum. They did not want to do that. They felt that, we should just get rid of it, and it would be, no one would ever, know who Elvis was or Dad was, and we would auction it off.
You see, so even there, she says it there, right? She says that is it the board of trustees? There was definitely people behind the scenes on behalf of the bank that were trying to make decisions, and she is clearly saying that everything was because of her stepping in. Yeah. Now, I'd like to see proof of that. Let me just see what this is.
Good. The fact that we've saved Graceland, we have tourists coming in, we have people coming in, and it's for a good cause. And it was all about saving Graceland and keeping it home, keeping it with all this family. And that was hard. I was telling that to some of the founders today, that because they had asked me the same question. I said, still when I go in that house today, it's good.
I think she was just about to say. I think she was just about to say. Still, when I go in that house today, it was home. But come on, guys, this is why we're all starting to wake up a bit. We know clearly that Priscilla had got fed up with living at Graceland and encouraged Elvis to buy different homes. I think as many as 3 other homes. She didn't really want to be at Graceland. So if you really add up the time that she lived at Graceland, it was very short. You guys may be able to tell me better, but I'm pretty sure that she didn't move into Graceland until around 63. Yeah, so she was just about to turn 18. So I'm pretty sure that they quite soon, around the time they got married, they had already started living in different homes. You guys tell me. So Tracy says, Priscilla was never a good, astute businesswoman. She failed at boutique children's clothing lines and furniture lines and perfume lines, acting career. Not a good track record. Just sent you a rare Elvis song he has made, Louis. Thanks, Jane. I'll have a look at that. It's a bit awkward with me with songs because I want to play them, but I don't think I'm allowed to. Is it Jane? Is it a copyrighted song? Right. So let me just keep going. Let's just find. Right. Let's listen to this bit.
You're going to get some criticism no matter what you do. I found in life, people are not always going to think you're doing the right thing. And if there's to be a Graceland at all, this is the way we have to do it. Thank God that we're doing it privately. It didn't really work out with the state and with the city, but we have control, and we're doing it, I believe, in the way that Elvis would love and appreciate, and we're maintaining it and preserving it for him. So, what can I say? I think Lisa, at the time that she's of age, will be very happy that it's done this way.
Do you think she ever wants to live here?
I don't know, but if she does, it's hers, and it'll all be preserved for her. If ever she decided at the age of 25 that she wanted to maintain it as her personal home, it's for her to do just that, yes.
What does she think about opening it up?
She's very pleased about it. She is very proud of it, and she feels the same, that she would love people to see Graceland. You're going to get some criticism.
True. There's a lot in that, isn't there? There's a lot in that. I think she just can't believe that everything has fallen into place, and she is the big boss. She is like the emperor, the queen of Graceland. It's like all the attention she's getting. Isn't that what she always wanted? In the limelight, all the spotlight on her. Suddenly it wasn't Elvis anymore. She was the focus. She was the center of attention. Isn't that what she always wanted? In your opinion, guys? Tracy, I spent over an hour trying to sort out these captions, these closed captions. I can't work it out. I wonder if if there's different rules for different countries. I don't know. And the other thing I spent ages trying to work out last night is why Deborah isn't able to join our live streams, because for some reason she's able to watch, but she's not able to comment. I've checked all my settings. She's definitely not blocked. So if you guys can understand why Deborah, so I did speak to Deborah last night, and I just said to her, we chatted for a while, and I said to her to reinstall her YouTube, so we can get Deborah back on. I can't understand why Deborah isn't able to join us, but me and Deborah get on very well, and I've been helping Deborah with her keto diet. a few of you, Tracy, I don't know if you know, but did you know? Did you know that Deborah is also on the keto diet, Tracy? Right. I said, all right, okay, I'll look that up. Tracy, you've sent me an email, yeah? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I haven't been awake long, so I haven't checked my emails. Let's have a look. Let's quickly just see. Yeah, it's not showing an email, but you could, Tracy, do you want to join the Facebook and send it to me on Messenger? Is that possible? I'm just double checking. Right, so it must be a delivery. 1 second, let's let the postman in. Delivery. I like it. Yeah, good. Well done. Well done. Okay, we have a delivery. The joys of my kitchen. Doing videos from my kitchen. Right, let me just warm that up as well. We love our coffee, guys. Right, let me just check your messages while my thing warms up. I sent you an email. My email came from let me just read that a minute. My email came from Pathenon. Pathenon. What is Pathenon? Is that a subscriber? Oh, Pat. From Pat. Right, okay. Right. Oh, yes, that's going to last. So, I'm definitely gonna, if it is as simple on the making the captions work, if it's as simple as a setting, I spent ages. I was on Messenger with Deborah last night because we love Deborah. Come on, Deborah is one of our fondest members on our lovely Team Elvis. She's even a moderator, and I tell you what, she has disappeared. And I don't understand why. I do not know why. So I spent ages with Deborah trying to work things out. And I definitely... Patricia is my Sunday name, full legal name. Oh, I'm with you. Yeah, okay. So I spent ages... right. I've just received... Right, Pat. All right, I think I've got it, Pat. I've just found it now. I know you. All right, Pat, you sent me this, didn't you?
Wouldn't talk about Elvis. But 19 years after the King's death, the Australian media still wanted to know about her relationship with him.
You still miss him? Oh, of course. I mean, absolutely. I mean, you were separated, and it has been such a long time. We had a wonderful friendship. We had a great friendship just because, and we were very, very adamant about not having the regular type of divorce that comes along with when people separate. I think we were greater friends. I don't want, and he didn't want, our child to be affected by this, and I think we did a pretty good job.
Asked to sing an Elvis hit, Priscilla was happy to oblige.
I've actually done this video before as a short, and she starts dancing. She starts dancing to Elvis, which I think is a bit odd, but let's watch it.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Right or lie. You ain't never got around and you ain't no friend of mine.
Priscilla only wanted to promote a perfume. Some reporters just wouldn't give up, forcing her to explain her reluctance to open up.
Why is there such a big list of taboo subjects here? So many areas that we can't talk to you about. Why do you feel uncomfortable talking about this?
Well, because I'm here to launch fragrance moments. I'm here because of that. I'm not here to be put on the spot to answer my life. I don't feel that I'm here to expose myself to questions that I don't feel like I wouldn't ask you, your personal life, and about who you're married to, and about what your life is about. I think anyone, not just myself. Well, I don't feel, even though I'm a public figure, I do have a life of my own.
She actually gets a bit touchy, doesn't she? Yeah, so I think I'm going to wind things up now. I think what I'll do, Pat, I think it's still not showing up on here. Maybe because it oh, I know, unless it's gone into, is it spam? Right, I'm going to sign out now. I can hear the kids coming down. Tracy, could you resend it me? There we are. Could you resend it me? And then I'll see if I can follow it through and turn on these captions if it allows me. I'm not sure if in the UK it allows it. I don't know. Yeah, we can't change the adverts, guys. It's part of YouTube. Do you know how I stop the adverts? I pay £16 a month to YouTube, and that way I don't get adverts. That's the only way I can do it, because they drive me mad as well. Tracy, I agree. I definitely 100% want the hard of hearing fans to join in with our beautiful channel that we have, and Team Elvis, 100%. So thanks, guys. I'm gonna call it a day. We've been on an hour. The dogs, come on, come on up. Come on up. She's not gonna jump up. There we go. There we are. Say hello. John, you awake now? The other one's awake as well. So, guys, we'll be back later. Oh, Debbie's just messaged me. Let's have a look. No, it's not fixed. It wasn't. Oh, that's weird. Debbie, let me just ask Debbie if she's watching. Debbie, are you watching? So I'm not seeing Debbie's comments. It's just, I don't understand it. I have no idea why Debbie's not able. She can. The good thing is she can watch us, but I don't get it. Debbie, if you're watching us now, I'm sending you love. I have no idea why it is not allowing you to come through to us. I will keep looking into it though. 100%. We miss you, Debbie. I'm just, so look, Debbie's just told me that she is watching, but for some reason her message, it's like she's been blocked by something. Debbie, do you want to send a message to to Team Elvis? So this is Debbie here. Let's have a look. So I just said to Debbie, are you watching? And then she has said, yes, I am. Debbie, do you want to send a message? I'll just let the dogs out. Come on then, guys. Okay. Let me just, while we're on the air, I'm just going to see if there's anything I can press. Engage your audience to try and get Debbie back in. I don't understand it. I think we've got two moderators. We've got Stacey. Let's have a look. Oh, there's no moderators on. I was going to say that if there's any moderators watching, If there's any moderators watching, just check your settings to make sure you haven't blocked anyone by mistake. On my end, it's showing no one is blocked. There's literally nothing. The only thing I can think is that someone has clicked on hide the user. Actually, no, I have no idea. I'm not a tech person, guys. I'm pretty useless at all that kind of stuff. But I don't mind trying to work it out. Channel level settings. Let's have a look here. I'm just looking at all these little settings on this PC. Nope. I said, well, you can't see my comment. No, we can't see. Deborah, we can't see your comments. It's like, do my editing, honestly. It's like, channel level settings, send feedback, stream, manage. Just click on manage. Let's see what happens when we click. No, nothing happens when you click on that. And then we've got, don't get it. Do not understand it. Deborah, just try one thing. Can you try logging in on something different, like not on that phone? Have you got? Do you have a laptop? Just something different. Maybe it's an issue with your phone, the settings. Let's have a look. So subtitles, then select language, then select closed captions. Right. I'm definitely going to do that. As soon as we go off air, I'm going to do that. I got to think, do you know what? I think with the, when, let's have a look. So Tracy, I think when you're talking about subtitles, I think, yes, it lets you do it individually per video if you're watching a video. Yeah. But it's a bit like being on Netflix, isn't it? And you click in the corner at the two little C's and it will give you subtitles. But that doesn't let you have it on every single video. And it also doesn't let you do it on every single live stream. I think live stream closed captions is different. So I don't know. We're learning. Anyway, guys, I'm going to keep trying. We're going to try and sort Deborah out. We're going to try and sort out the closed captions. But I think I've given you a good general idea of Graceland's and whose idea it was before Priscilla. That's it, guys. I'm out of here. I'm going to have to go. The kids are going to walk in any second now. So thanks, everyone. I'm definitely going to suss this out, Tracy. Thanks, everyone. Take care, all of you. Thank you for watching this morning. Thank you very much.